let's talk a little Michigan Wolverines, because Michigan, they're building their 2027 class. Yeah, we're going to 2027. We're going to flip back to 26 and talk about Savion Hyder. But this 2027 class just got a big addition this morning. Tristan Dare joins Luis Esposito as the first two in the boat for Michigan. And Steve, both of them are on that offensive line. Is this a strong start for the Wolverines?
No surprise that Sharon Moore, Grant Newsome, and the Wolverines are off and running in the 2027 cycle at the offensive line position. That is where Coach Moore's heart's at. He is very involved in coaching that offensive line from the corner office of the building. The 2 Joe Moore Awards awarded to the nation's best offensive line when Sharon Moore was the OC/ offensive line coach. That is the heart and the foundation of this football team, and they have gone out and already landed 2 hard-nosed physical football players, high football IQs. Esposito is a coach's kid. His dad is a defensive line coach at Michigan. And then Tristan, talking to Riley Dodge, the head football coach at South Lake Carroll, one of the powerhouse programs in the country. He just talked about the intelligence that he has at the point of attack. And also said he's put on 30 pounds since last year when he started in the state title game. He's already up to 280, hasn't lost a shred of his athleticism. He had a national offer list, but he locks in early with Michigan, as Michigan is doing very well with a lot of their top 2027 targets right now.
Yeah, speaking of, who could be the next for Michigan in this 27 class, and could it be a quarterback?
Yeah, I think that I would look. I don't know if this is imminent or not, but I do think that with Michigan is in the mix for about 5 or 6 of the nation's top quarterbacks in the country. So if you want to play for the Maize and Blue, you want to play in the big house, you want to run out of that side tunnel, jump up and touch the banner, you might want to reserve your spot early, because Michigan's at or near the top of the list for about 5 or 6 blue chip passers in this 2027 class. Chip Lindsey has hit the ground running as the offensive coordinator / lead recruiter on these guys since the day he was hired at Michigan to call the offense and coach the quarterbacks. And there's 2 guys that I got my eye on. Peter Bork out of New Hampshire, Boston area. Penn State was leading this recruitment in the spring, but Michigan getting him back on campus for camp, getting him around Chip Lindsey, some of the conversations that they've had with Coach Moore, Coach Lindsey, Coach Sean McGee, and this staff. Michigan has become a very exciting opportunity for their style of play, how he fits in offensively, what they can do for their student athletes on and off the field. And that's from an infrastructure standpoint and an academic standpoint. I have Michigan leading this thing going into the fall. Penn State still very much in play. A recent offer from Georgia is intriguing. Peter Bork wants to visit all 3 this fall. But again, with this line starting to form outside of Bo Schembechler Hall with quarterbacks, it's turning into the Roxbury. Who's going to get inside the building? Peter Bork is the guy that I think that they would move the rope for first. But you also have Malachi Ziegler. He's a young man that's as coveted as any passer in the country, also camped at Michigan this summer, did a fantastic job, shot up the Wolverines board, earned his offer from Coach Moore, Coach Lindsey and company, and he too might be nearing a college decision. SMU's in there, among other programs that have done a good job with Malachi Ziegler, but he sees a great fit for himself at Michigan for all the same reasons Peter Bork does. It's a special place for a student athlete on and off the field. So those are 2 guys I'm really keeping an eye on for Michigan. You also have guys like Elijah Haven, Keegan Croucher, Kavian Bryant, the number 1 ranked quarterback in the country from the Lone Star State. He had a fabulous visit to Michigan during the summer where him and his dad got to get on the field, spend time with the Wolverine staff, the opportunity to be the heir apparent to Bryce Underwood, who at that point have had 2 years as the starting quarterback for Michigan. It's a nice gap in between Bryce Underwood in the 2027 class. So Kavian Bryant really likes Michigan, but Peter Bork, Malachi Ziegler are the guys I'm watching in the short being.
All right. Now let's time warp back up to the 2026 class. We got to talk about Savion Hyder, because the number 1 running back in America is set to make a decision on August 19th. So we're under 3 weeks away from Savion Hyder. Steve, what's the latest?
Michigan's in it. Tennessee's in it. Cards are being held close to the vest. Beyond that, Wolverines have always been one of the front runners. Tennessee, I've been saying a lot on the Whip on Whip Around and other shows that Tennessee really surged this calendar year. But that surge actually goes back to his game visit in November, being inside Neyland Stadium, feeling that atmosphere. He said there's no environment like that one at Tennessee. So the Vols have been giving him a lot to think about. Michigan's always been one of his favorites, led by Tony Alford. Sharon Moore is very involved. This is Michigan's number one player on the board, regardless of position in the 2026 class. Michigan's done a great job of late landing their top overall targets at positions. You're talking about guys like Carter Meadows on the edge, Titan Davis on the interior of the defense, Malachi Lee on the offensive line, Savion Hyder, number one overall, would be their number one draft pick. So Michigan, you certainly know that they're on the gas there, but Tennessee has been rising and making it interesting. It'll be exciting to see if he picks the Wolverines or the Vols later this month.